helping some children fly a box kite, I would rear back and throw the ball. It would arch through the air, bounce down the field, and rock abruptly to a stop in the grass. I would fetch it. Then I would throw it again. Without someone to throw to, it was a melancholy practice. To throw a ball in a park meadow, and then walk to it and throw it again. And I did it in a sort of dull, bored way, so that if anyone caught me at it, if one of the elderly men looked away from his box kite, it would appear that I had nothing better to do while awaiting the arrival of friends, obviously delayed in traffic, for a touch football game. Sometimes I punted the ball. Once I kicked it off the side of my foot into the infield of a baseball game, and the black-shirted players began shouting, "Arriba! Arriba!" and waving their arms, as if what had dropped down among them was a large buzzard. July was not the seasonal month to be carrying a football around in Central Park, and I didn't go out too often. I threw the ball around in my apartment, which is a sort of studio, long enough to allow a throw into an armchair from 20 or 25 feet away, keeping at it when I had the chance, if only to get used to the feel of the ball. It was hot when I landed in Detroit. Many of those on hand to meet incoming planes were wearing shorts and dark sunglasses, some sporting cowboy hats with the foreword insignia. They meandered through the terminal, which was new and spacious, past glass cases which displayed machine parts revolving on small, velvet-covered stands. Down on the lower level, I rented a car, a red convertible, and I set out north along a main pike called Telegraph Road, following directions for Bloomfield Hills. It was hard to go wrong. The country is flat, with the cranes standing in the fields amid the housing developments going up, and the bisecting roads are named for the number of miles out from the city limits. 7-Mile Road, 8-Mile Road, 15-Mile Road, until about an hour out, when the country road names begin to appear on the turnpike signs and the country itself begins to roll under big shade trees. I turned off for Bloomfield Hills, and the macadam road ran down through thick, tall woods, with an occasional glimpse of pond through the foliage. I drove into the school parking lot and carried my suitcase up through the school grounds toward a building which was indicated by an occasional directional arrow as the administration building. It was quiet and peaceful walking the brick-lined paths. The school buildings were ivy-covered, and everywhere sprinklers ticked back and forth on the lawns and flower beds. In the administration building, there was no sign of anyone around. I could hear a typewriter going somewhere down a cloister, so I took my bag and followed along to the school office. Someone was typing in a cubicle there, and when I knocked and went in, a woman spun around from her machine, blinking violently to dislodge a pair of pince-nez spectacles, which came off finally and fell, suspended by a velvet ribbon around her neck. She looked at me sharply. "You are from what country?" she asked. I set my bag down. On the table beside her stood a row of badges of the type pinned on at conventions. One of them, turned slightly, had a name at the top which I could see, and under it, in block letters, Ghana. Another card read Iraq, and a third, Ivory Coast. "Yes?" she kept at me. "Well, I'm from New York," I said hopelessly, turning my palms over. She looked at me quizzically, and she said, "You are with the convention? With the bishops?" "The bishops?" She colored slightly. "Oh dear," she said, "I'm in error. We have 60 Episcopalian bishops and other church people coming in for a convention from all over the world. You are with—" "The football people," I said. "Yes," she said primly, recovering quickly. "The football people are in Page Hall." She gave me directions to the Lyon Public Relations Office, where she thought someone might be able to take me in hand, squinting forward as she spoke, reaching finally for her pince-nez to give me a closer look through them. I thanked her, took up my bag, and hurried from her scrutiny, finding Page Hall after a short walk through the school grounds, and then